Muy buenos días, compañeros. Un gran gusto saludarles hoy, siendo las 7:02 y hoy estamos el 18 de octubre. Extraño cuando tienes que checar rápidamente tu teléfono para ver la fecha, perdón. Pero no que estemos despistados ni nada de eso, es simplemente que el tiempo corre tan rápido, compañeros. Y nada más recuerdo que la semana pasada estábamos como si fuera que la semana pasada estuvimos en agosto y septiembre. Ahora ya estamos yendo casi al final de octubre. No obstante todo esto, compañeros, un gran gusto saludarles hoy miércoles y es nuestro placer enviarles los más atentos saludos. Muy buenos días. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the Sugar City Morning Show. We're transmitting live from Nortevision Channel 10 here in Trial Farm, and our signal is viewed throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful country of ours. And if you got no cable, that's not a problem. At least here in the vicinity of Orange Walk, you can catch us through an on-air station, which is Channel 10. And I do know that thousands of people watch our on-air channel here in Orange Walk because a number of them opt not to get cable. And some of them, well, they just don't want it. Un gran gusto saludarles. Como siempre, empezamos nuestro programa con una oración, dándole gracias a nuestro Creador por todo lo que nos envía. Uno de los problemas más grandes es de que la gente, pues como todo, yo consisto parte del grupo que se dice la gente, pues no nos sabemos conformar. Muchas veces que hay mucho sol, ay, nos quejamos que hay mucho sol. Que cuando viene la lluvia, que hay mucha lluvia. Que hay mucho polvo, que hay mucho lodo, que hay mucho esto, que hay lo otro. Sí, quizás esos son temas que nos salen a la mente porque lo vemos, lo vivimos, nos están afectando de una forma u otra, pero simplemente cuando se trata de la naturaleza, no importa cuánto te quejes, no puedes hacer absolutamente nada. Pero somos humanos y eso es nuestra tendencia humana de quejarnos. Aprendamos un poquito de que con quejarnos muchas veces no hacemos nada. Padre, te damos las gracias por todas tus bendiciones. Te doy gracias por la vida, la salud, las fuerzas. Te doy las gracias de parte de todas las personas que se unen a esta oración a este momento. Te pido, Padre, que continúes bendiciéndonos y que nos des la fortaleza para seguir adelante, para poder hacer un bien, para poder pensar en el prójimo, para poder ser más generosos y más amorosos y más considerados y más humildes sobre todo. La humildad es una de las cosas más importantes del mundo. Que seamos menos egoístas y menos soberbios y menos arrogantes. Padre, te pido como siempre para los ancianos, te pido para los niños que andan por las calles, te pido por los enfermos, te pido también, Padre, por todos los que andan por las calles sin saber dónde van, los que están en las cárceles, te pido por todos nosotros que tenemos una necesidad. Padre, te alabamos, te bendecimos, te glorificamos siempre. Amén. Today I just quickly decided to go into weather program, and that is telling us that currently in Orange Walk, we'll be into the general weather forecast very, very shortly, that it's currently 76 degrees in Orange Walk, and it tells me as well that for some time next week, we're going to be getting some good old respite from the excess heat, because we've been going all the way up to 90s, 92, 93. And I'm not telling you that it's gonna get cold or anything like that, but we're gonna get some relief. First, let's go to the general weather forecast, which says The general situation, relatively moist and unstable conditions, continue to dominate our weather. The 24-hour forecast. Sunny with some cloudy spells today and cloudy at times tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur mostly over the sea and some coastal areas this morning and tonight, and over inland areas this afternoon. Again, the perennial story. Inland areas this afternoon. The winds blowing from the northeast at 5 to 10 knots. The sea state light chop. The temperatures along the coast, 88 degrees as a max, 77 degrees as a low. Inland, 93 degrees. This is exactly what I'm talking about. 93 degrees inland as a max and 72 degrees Fahrenheit as a low. Notice that there is a 21-degree variant between the high and the low. 21-degree difference. And the hills, a maximum of 80 degrees and a low of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for some cloudy spells with a few showers, periods of rain and isolated thunderstorms over most areas. So we will be experiencing rain again. Let me tell you that few showers and periods of rain and isolated thunderstorms over most areas. So we'll be experiencing rain tomorrow. There's a low tide today at 3:06 this afternoon, a high tide at 9:16 tonight, another low tide tomorrow morning at 3:35, and a second high tide at 9:59 again tomorrow morning. The sun rose this morning at 5:47, and the sun sets at 5:29. Yesterday it was at 5:30. Today it's at 5:29. It will be getting darker much earlier, progressively so, by the end of, so much so that by the end of December or December 21st, it will be dark by 5:30. The moon sets today at 5:04, and the moon rises tomorrow morning at 37 minutes after 5, again, in the morning. We want to thank forecaster Michael Gentle for this information. And the general situation, like, buenos días, compañeros. The general situation, like I said, was that, again, we're having moist and unstable conditions. And this is what we've been seeing over the past couple of days, and perhaps even for the length of a week. Buenos días, compañeros, de nuevo. Un gran gusto saludarles. Antes de todo, enviarles un atento saludo a todas las personas que nos ven por la mañana. Muchas gracias por esa confianza. La situación general, condiciones relativamente húmedas e inestables continúan controlando el clima sobre nuestro país. Y parece cuento como si fuera disco rayado, porque ya por los últimos días y casi semanas hemos estado viendo justamente esto. Condiciones relativamente húmedas e inestables controlando nuestro clima, que no es nada fuera de lo común, en realidad es bastante típico, porque estamos en un momento de cambio. Octubre es cuando empieza a cambiar el clima aquí y estamos en espera de los vientecitos frescos. Pero para las siguientes 24 horas, soleado con algunos periodos de nubosidad hoy, durante el curso del día, nublado por momentos por la noche. También vamos a ver unos chubascos, tormentas aisladas ocurriendo esencialmente sobre el mar durante el curso del día hoy. El mar y sobre las áreas costeras durante el día hoy. Y hoy por la mañana y por la noche. Y de nuevo sobre las áreas del interior del país hoy por la tarde. Y eso es lo que nunca cambia. Chubascos en el interior del país tan pronto mediodía. Te puedes asegurar que va a caer un chubasco o dos. Los vientos del norte-noreste de 5 a 10 nudos, el estado del mar ligeramente agitado. Temperaturas por la costa 88 como una máxima, 77 como una mínima. En el interior del país una máxima de 93 grados y una mínima de 72. Y por las colinas únicamente 80 grados. ¡Qué agradable! en las colinas, pero estamos hablando de elevación hasta 3.000 pies, 3.800 pies. En esas áreas pudiera ser hasta mucho más frío, pero no hay observación a esas alturas, a esa altitud, así que, pero por lo general las colinas están mucho, pero mucho más frías que aquí nosotros que estamos casi rasos, casi nivel del mar. 80 grados como una máxima en las colinas y únicamente 68 como una mínima. Se espera que para mañana jueves y mañana jueves por la noche tengamos periodos de nubosidad y algunos chubascos, periodos de lluvia y tormentas aisladas sobre la gran parte del país de Belice. Mañana no se lava. Mareas, una marea baja hoy por la tarde a las 3:06, una marea alta a las 9:16 hoy por la noche y segunda marea baja mañana a las 3:35 de la madrugada, obviamente, y luego entonces una segunda marea alta mañana también a a las 10, menos un minuto. El sol salió hoy a las 5:47 y el sol se oculta hoy a las 5:29. Hice mención de que ayer estuvo a 5:30, hoy 5:29, y vamos a estar viendo de que durante ahora hasta diciembre 21, el sol va a ir saliendo se va ocultando un poco más temprano, tanto así que cuando lleguemos a mediados o finales de diciembre, vamos a ver que el sol ya va a estar oculto desde las 5:20. A las 5:30 ya va a estar completamente oscuro. La luna se oculta hoy a las 5:04 por la tarde y la luna sale de nuevo a las 5:37 mañana. Y rápidamente, compañeros, como dije en inglés hace ratitos, estoy en una página web aquí dándome el lujo de decir de que actualmente en Orange Rock es 76 grados Fahrenheit. Mañana también, y como viernes, mañana 90% de posibilidad de que tengamos lluvia. El viernes también. Y el sábado y domingo también. Nada más que vamos a tener un descenso en la temperatura alta. Es más, no vamos a subir hasta los 90 y pico. Pues obviamente por la lluvia, pues va a estar refrescando y entonces la siguiente semana, miércoles y jueves, también vamos a tener una alta posibilidad de lluvia, martes también, la siguiente semana, un anticipo de lo que va a suceder la otra semana y porque muy pendiente de lo que va a suceder la otra semana. Y va a haber un descenso en la temperatura, pero así pequeñito, así bien chiquitito. Pero sin embargo, compañeros, cualquier poquito está muy bienvenido. Vamos a darle las gracias a Michael Gentle por esta información y también a las otras personas laborando en el Belize Med Service. Pero también tenemos que agradecer a nuestros patrocinadores. Y estamos hablando del señor honorable Gaspar Vega, el señor German Vega, también estamos hablando del señor Eduardo Vega del Benque. También estamos hablando de A&Rs, Rapidito Loans, Carl Husner, Northern Medical Specialty Plaza, y estamos hablando de Dano Milk, Belize Tourist Board, Government of Belize Information Service, entre otras entidades que nos apoyan fielmente. Y les digo que si quieren ustedes anunciar con nosotros, están muy bienvenidos. Nuestras tarifas son excelentes. Vamos a tomar una pausa, sí, pero antes les quiero decir de que se supone que hoy tenemos también un invitado, el doctor Moore, del Departamento de Arqueología, porque esta semana es Semana de Arqueología. Nosotros tenemos tanta riqueza arqueológica y me parece que no lo estamos utilizando o a su máximo. Y simplemente lo vemos como un monte, una montaña de piedra y nada más. Pero debemos estar, porque toma gente de otros países, americanos, canadienses, bueno, europeos, para venir a decirnos qué riqueza tenemos. Y nosotros aquí ni siquiera nos interesamos de ir a visitarlo y muchas veces de ir a investigar. Así que yo quisiera ver de que beliceños sean arqueólogos, más aún. Y por eso le tengo mucho respeto al doctor Alan Moore, que es el jefe del Departamento de Arqueología aquí. Vamos a una pausa y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes tan pronto estos anuncios, compañeros, porque esta gente se tiene que ir a tener a su seminar justamente a las 9. Rápidamente a estos anuncios y luego regresamos con ustedes.
Give me the real, the number one, Dynamil, then of Dynamil. You can replace screen, but Dynamil it is real, yes, Dynamil, then of Dynamil. All over Cayo and in San Pedro, Dynamil, then of Dynamil. Dynamil in the morning, Dynamil in the evening, Dynamil. Here we Dynamil, up north in Corozal, supermarket and the mall. Dynamil, then up Dynamil, all over this land, and in Belmore Pan, yes, Dynamil. Here we Dynamil, say in Tangriga, down south in Fiji. Dynamil, then up Dynamil, you can hear it stop. Cause it's in Orange Walk, yeah, Dynamil. I love Dynamil. Dynamil powder, probably the best milk powder in the world. Dano.
Attention all Digicel prepaid customers. Digicel now has a new way for you to access all the prepaid services that you love. Our new prepaid menu is now your one-stop shop for everything prepaid. Checking your account balances, purchasing your favorite data plan, text bundles, and more. Just got easier. Accessing this new menu is quick and easy. Just dial *100#. A menu will pop right up on your phone with a list of all the available options. And you can still dial *100 for voice instructions or send a text using our shortcut options. Listen, all of these are super easy. Just choose which one works best for you. Cause being prepaid is just that simple. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat to learn more about our new prepaid menu or visit our website at digicel.bz/menu. Go beyond! Only with Digicel.
The bigger, better network. Digicel.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longaniza, and sugar-cured ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop. Fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not do it in your own country? Sun, fun, and relaxation are just a short distance away. Have a taste of barefoot living, or enjoy the sounds and taste of an authentic Garifuna village. yourself to be swept away by Southern hospitality and living. Escape the hectic world and enjoy a beautiful sunset. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
6 cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
They see you and how you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things never run you. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
I love my Digicel 4G LTE data. Between work and school, I have to multitask to keep up. When I'm on the move, I have everything I need no matter where I go. Whether it's research for school, emails for work, or Facebook, Snapchat, and YouTube while on those long bus rides, Digicel 4G LTE got me covered. Digicel 4G LTE's nationwide coverage is exactly what I need to get me where I'm going. They're truly the bigger, better network.
The bigger, better network. Digicel.
And welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 25 minutes after 7. Buenos días, compañeros. Si nos acabas de sintonizar, un gran gusto saludarles y enviarles los más atentos y cordiales saludos donde sea que se encuentren. Tal como prometí hace ratos, cuando estaba yo planeando acerca de nuestros invitados, es un gran gusto presentarles justamente a mi izquierda, immediately to my left, Mr. Antonio Berdal, who is one of the archaeologists attached with the Institute of Archaeology.
Good morning.
And then I'd so take time out to welcome you and to say good morning before all and welcome you. And then I have Mr. Josue Ramos, also an archaeologist from the Institute of Archaeology, who are here to do a presentation at the Banquitas House of Culture. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
And thank you for
Let me
the
just quickly
invitation.
take this call. Okay. Like I said, good morning and welcome to the show. This week, I gather, is Archaeology Week, and you're here in Orange Walk. And thanks, I mentioned it to Cindy, when was it, during the course of this week, and she said, one short little stint, because I think that you have to go do your presentation at 9 o'clock this morning. Am I right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we won't take much of our time. Just want to acknowledge the fact that you took special, it's good to have you here, and you made special effort. That's what I was asking, to be here at such an early hour. Thank you. Yesterday, I gather that you had the first of your seminars, and it was meant for tour guides, and today it's for school children. What is the big message that you're giving out today? Let's begin with Mr. Antonio.
The message that we want to bring and that we brought to the tour guides last time and will continue today is that we are the ones who have to protect and preserve what we have in this country. The cultural heritage that we have will not survive if we don't see any value in it. And we're not doing it for ourselves anymore. We're doing it for the future people of the Belize so that they can have something that they can tie themselves to, and something that will help also to strengthen their cultural identity, not only as people of Orange Walk, but as people of Belize as well.
No, this area is claimed to have a lot of mounds and unfortunately you'd find them in areas where perhaps you wouldn't want it, the kin farmer wouldn't want them. And therefore, when in terms of, let's be real here, when in terms of land clearing, the whole thing is razed. The whole thing is gone. Part of our heritage is gone, part of our culture. But apart from that, perhaps there have been looters there who've been there way before anybody else. Yeah. And they only see it as a mound of stones. What does it take for the person, the farmer, to understand what he said, the value of this thing?
Well, that's the main reason we are here today, and also in your morning show, because you have a audience that is mostly Norteños that watch it, and up here in the North, it's all about cane. And unfortunately, as we were having a conversation earlier, the older generation tends to be mostly focused on cane, but the young children, and that's why today is very important, because the young people are the ones who are grasping all these ideas and appreciation for our cultural heritage and the protection of the sites. But there are a few, I need to be honest, there are a few carriers who do their effort to try to go around, plow. And we applaud that effort for those who do it. And for those who decide to just destroy it, we ask of them to, to try protect whatever is left still in Orange Rock, because we don't know what the future holds for the sugar industry. And the day you want to venture in tourism, you won't have these sites anymore.
And then there is a indiscriminate few who just decide to tell you what, rompe esa madre.
Yeah. We do meet people like that. For
it's
them,
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
They see this as one, if they are not directly of Maya descent, they tell us, well, I'm not Maya, so why should I care? Or sometimes we do come across school children who will say, well, it's a pile of rocks, why should I care? So we have to get that value instilled in them that no, it's not just a pile of rocks. We always ask people, in fact we asked the guides last night, when did the history of Belize begin? And you'd be stunned to know that a lot of people say, oh, September 21st, 1981, or 16 something, and after Columbus came. No. People were living here before that.
Of course.
People were living and fighting and building cities. People were writing. They had religion. They had a
when
society.
Europe was in its dark ages, we were flourishing.
So history began when people began to live and write here in this land. And if you love Belize, as you say you do, then you will love all of its history and be proud of all of its history. That includes the ancient Maya history as well. It belongs to all of us. It's not for ourselves. We're doing it for the country as a whole.
I understand that perfectly. Yes. Okay. So today you will have a school trade, and I guess this is the thrust that you're taking, because you're asking, you're bringing it into their conscience that these things need to be cherished. These things to be preserved, not for us but for eternity.
Yes.
Yeah.
In other words, it's not only something that we're privy to see it, and then after that, goodbye, and somebody else. It's our luck, but not yours. But it's. I don't know if I have the words. I don't think I'll be calling it shameful, but it's unfortunate that a number of Belizeans have never visited a lot of the Mayan temples.
True.
And some of them go like, sí, yo fui a la Manay ahí, pero ahí solo fui a comprar mota.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's good that you mentioned that, because it gives us the opportunity to tell Belizeans, once you're a Belizean, on Sundays and on public and bank holidays, it's free. There is no fee charge.
You're kidding me.
It's free. But most Belizeans will say, oh, it's Sunday, vamos a Chetumal. They rather go to Chetumal, they rather go somewhere else. And
vamos a comprar un six-pack y nos
yeah,
sentamos ahí por el mar y
when all archaeological reserves in Belize are open for all Belizeans, free on Sundays and free on public and bank holidays.
Or
And
it's too far.
yeah,
People will wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to catch the bus to go to Chatamal, to catch another bus, to go and spend money on a hotel and spend money on food. When you can catch the bus, and if you go to Kaya, for example, you can see Cajalpet and Charantanage and the site in Benque Viejo all in the same day. You can take your family and do something educational, something outdoors. We always have these parents complaining, oh, my kids spend so much time on the computer and on their tablets. Take them out. You will not generate interest by just having them sit at home and showing them pictures when we have these places that you can visit and appreciate in our own country. And like you said, in Orange Walk, we have just the one site that's open, Lamanai. But who knows in the future, if there's a lot more interest and we find sites that are well preserved, that these sites can become reserves and eventually be open for tourism. But if there is no value and then we have what happened to Nomul happen all over again, we eventually won't have anything standing. And then people ask us,
Unfortunate.
people ask us, well, why doesn't the Institute do anything up north for tourism? And we have to tell them, we can't if you leave nothing standing. If you try to destroy a Maya site or mound in southern Belize, for example, the people raise hell. They get mad.
Then why is it that it's almost acceptable here to do?
It's a totally different
You
culture.
know, it's a different culture. You know, I know of some people who clear the land for between Orange Walk and San Esteban. And I don't know if you guys know it. It may be news to you, but it may not easily be as well. But a number of people got not wealthy, but got some money in their pockets out of that. Because a number of the Maya temples were just flattened, and during the process, some people managed to get jade, you know, and some of them managed. I know of one. Sorry, I'm talking about it, but it is beautiful work, and sold it for thousands of dollars.
well, in that case, we also have good news for Belizeans, for those who appreciate these artifacts and the sites, because as the Institute of Archaeology and the government of Belize, we signed a MOU with the United States, and we have a working relationship where anyone who ventures in selling these things and probably goes through security here in Belize, you know, we are not that's not our strength, and it manages to go out. Once it reaches the US, then the authorities there will do their best and capture the person, confiscate the artifact, and return it back to Belize. And coming early this year, 2018, we are signing the MOU for another 5 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
News.
And that's why we ask anybody out there, if you are on social media or on the internet, eBay, Amazon, and you see an artifact that says it's from Belize, let us know, and we will contact our colleagues at the U.S. Embassy, who in turn will contact the authorities in the U.S.
So if you're caught at Miami International with a piece of jade or a piece of pottery or anything like that, that is deemed illegal.
Yeah, and you will be arrested and it will be confiscated.
Arrested, obviously.
Yeah, and charged.
Never mind that somebody, an excavator, sold it to you, but you are not supposed to have it with you.
No, because it's illegal to sell or buy. It's just as it's illegal to remove any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Is the Orange Walk? What is it? Do we have a lot of Maya temples here in Orange Walk?
Orange Rock, as many other districts, has a lot of archaeological sites. Unfortunately, the ones that are closer to town, like Mr. Berdal mentioned, Nohmol, which is very close, one of the most fascinating building, was destroyed. But we also have a site such as Pueo. We have a site between Indian Church and San Felipe known as Kakabish.
It's also
Which
been
are
looted
it's
heavily.
also been looted, and the farming community is encroaching on the site
Are
core.
these locals being looting it, or?
Well, unfortunately, we don't know. Maybe the local community might see it, but they are afraid to report it.
Yeah.
And that's how we depend as an Institute of Archaeology. Our staff is very small, and we depend on people like you and your viewers. If they see anything, they can contact us.
It's important for you to put out that message out
Yeah.
there.
They are the eyes and ears for us, because that's how we operate. We might be doing some work in Toledo district, and if someone in Orange Rock or Corozal says something, they can easily pick up the phone, call the police, or call Cindy at Banquitas, and then Cindy will contact us at our main office, and we will make sure we respond to.
But we do have important sites.
We do,
Yes.
yeah.
Lamanai and Cuello and so forth have been, very important sites.
And those are the few that are within an hour reach from Orange Rock Town. Of course, we have those in the jungles such as La Milpa, Chanchich, and other sites
Those
farther
areas.
out. Yeah.
And these are sites that people still do research at every single year. We have a lot of research done in Orange Walk at those sites. So we're still learning about the Maya still. We're still forming the history of this country as we go along. And we want these things to still be there so people can do research and find out more.
And we
one
also
of the things that people worry about is if they find something on their farm and if they report it, that their land will be taken away. And we have to tell people this is not true.
Can we clear that up? Say perhaps I just bought 1,000 acres of property. And bam, I have a little, what I perceive, what I think is a hill, and it turns out that I find that there's a hole, and I find that it's possibly a man temple, something small, albeit the fact that it's small, but I call in the Institute of Archaeology, and it turns out that I find pottery and blah, 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 and so forth. Who does that belong to? That belongs to the country of belief.
Belongs
That's
to the country of
patrimony.
belief. Yes, it is.
However, the land is still yours.
The land is
For example, if we take this cup as an example, or the mic, taking it as that being the mound or the site, that belongs to the country, but you as the landowner, you have interest in it, because one of your morals or obligation will be to ensure that nobody comes and destroy it, and it should be protected. And then we need to, as a landowner, you can also contact us and say we want to create a memorandum of understanding with the Institute of Archaeology. There are many avenues on how we can work together. Just as if you have artifacts that you find, and when we see find, we are talking about the regular blades, pieces of shards, bottles that you find when you plow on the periphery. Not if you go looting, because we can differentiate between a looted artifact and one that you will find on your farmland. And you can register it. You can register it and have it as a private collection.
Yeah.
And we won't confiscate it. But if you have these items and don't register it, then the police do a search.
So you can have it in your private collection as long as you register.
Register it, yeah.
You register.
And there is no fee for it.
license.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a free process that we do. We do all the work for you, all the research behind the pieces. We try to give you as much detail as to what they actually are. We give it a license number, we give it back to you, and you can display these things in your home or business. So
one day maybe Banquita's House of Culture can ask you to do a mounted display, and you can say courtesy of Mr. Talman.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or you also can donate it to the House of Culture, to the Institute of Archaeology. Yeah.
it is rare that we will ever say no to a piece. If you have something that is truly unique or exceptional and we think that it is better for us to protect it, then we'll say no. Or if you have another lamanai on your site, on a piece of land, then obviously we'll want to keep that safe but we're not in the business of taking away land from anyone. We just try to work with you, and you can help us to protect what's there.
Was Noble destroyed?
Well, one of the biggest structure was structure 65 and 66, which were one of the tallest buildings at the site. Yeah, but the site core, part of the site core is still there. So it's not the entire site, but one of the biggest buildings.
Sugar City Morning Show, buenos días, good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Yes.
Yo quería, eso de New Moon.
Ajá.
¿Qué se hizo de eso de New Moon?
Pues estamos investigando, esa es la pregunta justo ahora, ¿ok? Así que si escuchas, vamos a discutirlo ahora.
Sí, porque yo no creo que es justo que la gente se haya ido sin procesarse por la corte, porque esos muchachos que están hablando ahorita deben de ser arqueólogos y ellos deben de tomar cuentas en New Moon.
Okay. Muy bien, vamos a discutirlo ahora. ¿Sí? Gracias.
Y después de eso, yo quiero hablar con este muchacho que está en mi mano derecha.
Ok.
Porque ustedes deben de saber que un patrimonio arqueológico debe de ser protegido por las leyes de Belice.
Sure.
Yeah. Y no estamos en...
¿Y qué estamos haciendo nosotros? Solo porque es Denny Grijalva. Yo no estoy hablando porque es Denny Grijalva. ¿Entiendes?
Pero
yo
se supone...
Es patrimonio nosotros.
Sí, se entiende todo eso. Pero te quiero decir algo. Este asunto acerca de Denny Grijalva, me parece que fue fuertemente...
Yo no estoy hablando de Denny Grijalva.
Fue politizado increíblemente. Porque muchas personas habían estado rompiendo ese templo mucho antes que Denny. Yo no estoy defendiendo las acciones del individuo.
Yo tampoco no estoy condenando a Denny.
Pero, sí. Pero al final del día, cuando estaba...
Yo estoy defendiendo a nuestro patrimonio.
Gracias por esto. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
No, ¿ahora me vas a cortar?
No, yo no te estoy cortando.
Y otra cosa. Mira, aquí atrás, por aquí, ¿cómo se llama? Por aquí, Dublón. También están rompiendo ruinas.
¿Dónde? Aquí están los jóvenes, cuéntalo.
Just give us the...
Ajá.
Están rompiendo ruinas.
¿Por dónde es eso?
Por Dublón, aquí atrás de Dublón, así.
I don't know where that is.
Ahí por
aquí yendo a Honeycamp.
Okay,
¿Y tú lo sabes como un hecho?
Sí, yo te lo puedo decir.
¿Tú lo has visto?
Sí, yo te puedo llevar. ¿Dónde lo estás haciendo?
You can come to Banquitas today and we can meet and talk there. We are willing to go anywhere whenever we have these things.
I can come today, but anytime you want to contact me, that's my number, and I could show you where they are
Toma este número, 670-4595, 670-4595. ¿Gabo?
Sí.
Muy bien, ya tengo tu número, papá.
Sí. Yo estoy muy molesto porque ustedes no hicieron nada por la ruina de New Moon.
Well, that case was, as you may well be probably aware, that it went through the court procedures. And unfortunately, which is another topic we need to also talk about, that our legislation only allow us to charge certain amount of money. And we can go beyond that. What we had recommended back then And our
Are
previous
they
director,
archaic? Are
they are archaic. They are old. And we saw that with the forestry department. They recently revamped their legislation, which is giving more teeth and to in a way to deter illegal loggers. And that's the same process we need to go through the archaeology section.
Going back to what they call it, well, the basket don't turn over, so let me get in there. Nomol had been the target of a lot of people's vandalism. Good Lord, I'm not knowing if I'm saying it right, but I'm trying to pick my words here. But a lot of people had been looting Nomol, had been destroying Nomol way before. Then Grijalva came with his big old tractor and dumped the bloody place. And nobody talked about it. Nobody spoke about it because it was not a political situation. No political benefit could be gotten from it. Until Mr. Denny Grijalva came, and it was not even him, it was one of his workers, and I gathered that it was politicized in such a way that it became a thing of national and international interest. I am not defending Grijalva, nor his driver, nor his whoever it is. I'm just saying that it was heavily politicized.
I think one of the reasons why it was such a big thing, though, is the grand scale of destruction that happened. People who looted before may have gone in, dig a small trench or tunnel, and now you have...
people are telling us that they used to get that white mall out of the area.
And that is in no way to justify those people, because if it's a shovel full, you're moving from any site, it's illegal.
Why then did the Institute of Archaeology didn't grasp at the situation right then and there?
As I mentioned earlier, as the caller just called in, he's talking about some looting behind Honey Camp. We don't know the area. So we depend on the community out there. The community, the locals, they travel these areas every day. So we appreciate callers like him, and we hope that he can get in touch with you, and then you in turn get in touch with us, so we can go and see this location that he's talking about. And this happens countrywide. If the local community don't put the interest and report it to us, we don't know, because we have our main office in Belmopan. We might do periodical driving or reconnaissance of each district, but we don't know where these things are happening. And the normal case, as bad as it may be looked politically, we still have to look at the positive that came out of it. One, it was the national awareness that it created. Whether whichever color political party you belong, whichever ethnic group you belong, it created an awearness and said, aha, we need to do better than this.
Good.
We
On
need
that
to
note,
protect
we will
these
take
sites.
a break and we'll be right back with this very interesting discussion. We'll be right back.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan Muriatic acid, now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walktown. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
It goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Northern Medical Specialty Plaza has been offering excellent health services since its inception in 2000. Today you can enjoy a wide range of medical services through our experienced doctors and dedicated friendly staff. No need to go to Belize City or Cheto Mall. Introducing our new state-of-the-art CT Scan 16 slice, now available at Northern Medical Specialty Plaza in high-definition technology, computerized tomography. Also available, ultrasound 4D scan, which shows moving 3D images of your baby. We also provide services such as mammograms, X-ray, clean and safe nursery, certified pharmacist, operating facilities, our 24 hours emergency and hospitalization, high technology research facilities. Our motto has always been to serve our community with compassion, quality, and affordable medical services. Specialists devoted to serve you. Visit us today at Orchid Drive in Orange Rock Town or call us at 302-3708. Northern Medical Specialty Plaza. Your health is our priority.
The new Belize City Civic Center is taking shape at the foot of the Balkan Bridge and is expected to be completed by December 2017. This multi-purpose mega facility will boast an air-conditioned interior with a seating capacity of 4,500, a FEMA-certified wooden main court and 3 practice courts, offices, media boxes, and multiple locker rooms, another basketball court with 24-hour access to the public, and parking for 200 vehicles. This $34 million investment highlights a new era of world-class sporting infrastructure for the entire country of Belize. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Come wrong already, Carnival you coming quickly. Look out, the sun coming out to play. Look the vibes spinning up, what's the ready for way? And we jam and jam. And we jam and jam. Please hit the button. And we jam and jam. Make it incredible, 'cause we feel incredible. The vibes is incredible, the movement incredible.
And welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 3 minutes before 8 o'clock in the morning. Aquí enviando un atento saludo a todas las personas. Reconozco que muchas veces y nos estarán mentando todo porque estamos hablando en inglés, pero hay ciertos invitados que lo encuentran mucho más fácil explicarse o expresarse más bien en inglés. y por eso no les podemos insistir. Sin embargo, yo estoy aquí para poder ayudar a traducir esta información en español. Hubo una persona que llamó y nos dijo qué pasó con Nomul. Y el joven Josué le explicó que eso pasó por un proceso legal y sin embargo lo más importante que ha salido de esto es de que se dieron cuenta de lo anciano que son nuestras leyes, lo fuera de lugar, lo arcaico que han sido nuestras leyes, que en vez de cobrarte y multarte $10,000 por una multa, simplemente, compañeros, están cobrando $200. Una plena y neta vergüenza. Do you have plans of changing these?
Yes. One of the things that happened after the mound was destroyed, I looked at the other countries in the Maya area, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and looked at what they did when these things happened. And as bad as we think our laws are, the laws in Mexico are worse.
Really?
They charge them a lot less. But Honduras and Guatemala are very strict. So we decided that our laws were too weak, were too antiquated, and that we need to not just have one flat rate for every mound destroyed, but to have these on a case-by-case basis. If you destroy something the size of a football, you cannot be charged the same thing for destroying something the size of Nomul. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that is still in the process of being rectified by cabinet. They're dragging their feet on this, and we hope that eventually this will be put into law, so that if this happens again, we have a better legal background to go into court and attack these cases, so that if you destroy something like Nomula again, you will only be charged $10,000 or $20,000.
Have any persons claimed innocence? I mean, complete or rather ignorance of
Everyone
the fact?
does.
Everyone does, really?
When the people...
Yo no sabía que había una cosa allá.
That's exactly what they said when they destroyed the pyramid at Namul. They're in a flat land that has cane. They see a hill that they thought was natural. And when they were bulldozing it and all the blocks were coming out, they said, oh, well, this is something natural and,
as if it's a natural production of bricks that don't
not man-made. And even when they saw ceramics pouring out, nobody was there to stop them, and they said, hey, this will make a better
Nobody called?
Eventually they called, and when we saw the pictures of what was happening, I mean, it was like a punch in the gut and a black eye for the country as a whole. So as Mr. Ramos said earlier, one of the good things that came from this is that the entire country and the world got mad that this even happened, and it re-energized a sense of patrimony for what we have. Unfortunately, though, in Belize, we tend to, okay, this week we'll be mad, next week we're going to forget it happened. Until maybe once a year, whatever happened to Nomul, but I'm not going to feel this way all year. This is something that we should feel every single day. Every time a small mound is destroyed, every time you see someone selling a vessel, every time you see someone littering or scratching their names into a temple at a site, you should be mad about these things too, not just about Nomul.
I understand. I'd like to pause at this moment and tell you that the Banquisa's House of Culture has recently been rededicated, is that, and redone? Is that correct me if I'm wrong?
Revamped.
Right. Okay. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, it's an entirely new presentation after 15 years. It's supposed to be an entirely new experience after 15 years. Okay? But unfortunately, and I'm going to just throw it at you, that very few people go to visit the Banquisa's House of Culture. I don't know for what reason, but la gran mayoría de gente ni siquiera se interesa en entrar. Y te preguntas, un centro con tanta información buena que te puede ayudar a forjar tu identidad, que estás celebrando tu cultura, que te está celebrando tu pasado, ¿por qué no entrar a visitar? Y ahí empezar a concientizarte acerca de los envases maya. Empezar a valorizar, no siempre valorar, pero valorizar esto en tu corazón y tenerlo siempre decir pendiente y decir, ¿sabes qué? Este tipo de cosas, cuando yo lo vea que lo anden vendiendo, lo voy a reportar porque es parte de nuestra cultura. ¿Cuánto más tenemos que perder hasta llegar a este punto? Sugar City Morning Show, buenos días.
Sí, buenos días.
Ándale.
¿Y cómo está ese de Banquita Home Culture que Marcos Canul? Ahí donde estaba el monumento. ¿Por qué lo quitaron?
No sé de nada de eso, compañero. No sé de nada de... ¿De qué estás hablando tú? ¿Que quitaron algo? ¿De dónde?
No, pues Marcos Canul. ¿Te acuerdas de Marcos Canul?
Sí, Marcos Canul, el líder de los Icaiches que peleó para los derechos de los...
Right.
Okay.
Bueno, pues ese monumento que estaba ahí, la casita que estaba allá.
La casita no estaba ahí. El monumento siempre está por Barracks.
No.
Sí, el monumento siempre está aún ahí.
Y la casa que estaba allá por ahí donde está el courthouse.
Eso no tiene que ver nada con Marcos Canol, joven.
Ajá.
Eso simplemente es Fort Monday.
Ajá.
Y este Fort Monday fue construido un par de años después para defender el pueblo de gente como Marcos Canol.
True.
Ajá.
¿No es así?
Yeah, that's true.
Bueno, pues yo eso quiero que hablen de este también.
Ajá.
Well,
gracias, claro, gracias.
Y especialmente, como estabas hablando, si el joven entra a Banquitas ahorita, ahí va a ver los retratos y información sobre de los puertos, de las personas que han formado parte de nuestra historia, no solo de los mayas, sino después de que Colombo vino y todo eso. Ahorita hay una gran cantidad de información que todos deben de ir a visitar Banquitas y tomar su tiempo y leer y informarse.
Si no quieres ir solo, consíguete, yo creo que I think the tour guides need to incorporate Banquitas as a part of their run.
Yeah.
That's my personal way of thinking. Because, not only for tourists, but also for our local Belizeans. And our local Belizeans, si que estás parando con tus molotes y todas tus bolsas y estás cansado, entra en Banquitas. Acuérdate que debe ser un lugar, un centro comunal. Eso es lo que debe ser. Un centro de donde te empoderas con información. If I can say. Because tú eres parte de la comunidad, se está celebrando la cultura, se está celebrando la historia, se está celebrando todo esto. ¿Y por qué tú no debes de ser parte de ello? Claro que sí. Puedes ser indio, mestizo, lo que tú quieras ser, pero ahí se está celebrando tu cultura.
That's true.
¿Ok?
That's true.
Y yo quisiera, rápidamente, para contestar poner un poquito de historia a este cuento. La batalla de Orange Rock sucedió no en Banquitas, pero sucedió justo enfrente del río, pero por el área por donde está el señor Arsenio Burgos, Yoseni, ¿ok? Enfrente de James. Esa es el área detrás de la iglesia, donde ahí se entendía el West India Regiment, ahí tenían su lugar, y el tiempo, en esos entonces, eso era lo que se consideraba el centro de Orange Rock. Se podía considerarlo el centro. Pero, that was where the West India Regiment was. Los indios acecharon el área y ahí hubo una confrontación. Creo que 1 o 2 personas mataron, Sergeant Pellissier being one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. No se mató a Marcos Canul, pero se le hirió. No se sabe ahorita tampoco, Juan, por quién, porque hay un debate si fue Pancho Escalante o fue un soldado americano, ex-confederate, que lo hirió yendo hacia, pues porque también he hecho mi tarea en la casa, pero porque Pancho es mi bisabuelo. Pero lo que te quiero decir es de que eso sucedió en 1872, ok, el 1 de septiembre, y ya luego entonces Fort Monday y Fort Cairns fueron construidos para proteger el pueblo de Orange Walk contra los ataques de los indios. Así que esa casita que te referías hace rato fue construida luego de la batalla de Orange Walk. ¿Sí?
That's true.
Exactamente. Y yo quisiera que la gente se envuelva más. Y gracias por llamarnos, porque siquiera demuestra de que estás interesado en saber más. ¿Ok? Por eso te agradezco la llamada, porque con un poquito más de información vas a querer saber aún más y aún más y aún más. Te invito a que llegues.
Yep. And we want to thank Banquitas for the work that they do in trying to help to keep the culture alive, but they can't do it if the people don't show the interest. I mean, the new displays are beautifully done. It's full of information, and every time I come to Orange Walk, I can't wait to get there, just to go there and read it all over again. It's interesting.
Of course it is.
It's more than what we have in San Ignacio in terms of a house of culture. So Orange Walk should be very, very proud. They should cherish what they have.
Y yo, que soy descendiente auténtico, mestizo, de todas esas familias que vinieron desde los 1800 y pico, entonces me encuentro yo ahí en Banquitas. Yo me encuentro en Banquitas, ¿sí? Porque cuando se trata de hablar de todos los fundadores originales de Orange Walk, ahí estuvieron ellos. Y por eso es muy importante que yo esté ahí aprendiendo más y más y más. Por eso le agradezco a ustedes la venida, porque la llegada aquí, porque estamos hablando, we're talking about, this week is Archaeology Week, we're celebrating archaeology, pero qué riqueza tenemos, qué riqueza arqueológica tenemos, ¿ok? Pero requiere muchas veces que los gringos y los europeos vengan a decírnoslo, a decirnos que tenemos una riqueza natural increíble, porque si fuera por nosotros, muchos de nosotros, es un montón de piedras que no significa absolutamente nada. Pero si llegaras a empezar a entender qué es el significado de todo esto, por qué estuvo, entonces empiezas a darte cuenta de que esto es parte de tu cultura, esto es parte de tu historia, y esto forma parte de lo que eres tú hoy en día. Así que yo te invito a ser parte. What will it take to have more Belizean archaeologists these days?
Well, as Mr. Berdal mentioned, over the entire year, we have about 20 different archaeological projects.
What?
And they run from January to August, most of them. And one of the conditions that the Institute of Archaeology gives to these project directors, is that you involve, one, the community, and two, young Belizeans. And there are opportunities where young Belizeans can go for a week or 2 weeks and participate in these excavations free of charge. Remember, the foreign students that come here, they have to pay their plane, food, hotel, and a fee to the university. While we as the Institute request of the directors to give Belizean students, or any Belizean who wants to participate and learn, to be enrolled in these projects. So all they have to do is contact us, and we will make sure we place them on a project.
Esperas.
Yeah.
I work at Calpet every single year for the whole month of July, and most of the people who work with me, if not all, are all locals. They're high school students, some of them university, some junior college, but they all work with me for the entire month, and I teach them everything that I would teach the foreign students. Why they're digging, what's the importance. This helps to cement once again the importance of these things and why the work is important. And you'd be surprised that people show up only for a day and end up staying the entire month because they love it so much.
They feel motivated.
They do. And I make it easy and engaging. I teach them as they go along. I teach them about Belizean history, Maya history, the culture, their identity. And if someone 7, 8 years old shows up and says, "Oh, this looks fun, can I dig?" I give them a pick and a trowel, shut him in, and I teach them, this is why we do it. You can be 70 years old, as long as you can get into the pit and dig, I will let you dig along. So Calpech in July, if you want to come, just get in touch and you can come work with me.
I've been to Lamanai 7 or 8 times. I enjoy every time. I'm looking forward to go again. Dudu, invítame.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
for those here in the north, we have the Aventura Archaeological Project near Aventura near San Joaquin.
Okay.
And for those in the Orange Rock district, we have, as we mentioned, close by, we have Kakabish, we have Lamanai, and we also have Cuello.
What if somebody's listening out there and saying, I want to learn more about archaeology? Where can he go?
He can go, I'm sure, if it's a young people, they have WhatsApp, they have Instagram, they have Facebook. So all they have to do is find us on Facebook, Institute of Archaeology.
Institute of Archaeology is on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
Praise the Lord.
It's a very popular page. It's the most popular page in all of Niche. And they can send us a message. And I check these things every to right there, see the one on top.
Oh God, as popular as that? It just pops up?
Yep.
There it is.
And Ali,
8,300 likes so far, very good. We need more. And we post things when sites are closed, events like what will happen today at Banquitas, we will share pictures. If you want to get in touch, you want to say hello, send us a message.
And there you guys are.
We will open your eyes on Monday.
Okay.
And if you want to, if you go to a site and you take a picture and you want to tag the Institute in it so you can show the world how beautiful our sites are, you can do these things. Just get in touch with us, say hello, and we can put you in touch with the different project directors who come. You can work along with them. If you want us to come to your school, to your business, to your organization, to do an exhibit, to do a lecture, let us know. We will come. It doesn't matter how far away you are in the country, we will come.
Good. Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Good morning. I heard the gentleman mention Quail's site.
Yes.
When was the last time they went around there? Because I was around there approximately about 3 to 4 months ago, and that ruin is eroding. The ruins are eroding this the limits. The northern side of the structure is being eroded by the weather. I think that it's a very historical ruin, and I think they need to put more emphasis in caretaking of that ruin. The area is bushy, it's not clean, you know, and it's not well kept. That's the final word, not well kept. It's one of the most important ruins in Belize, one of the oldest ruins in Belize, and it's not kept by the, I don't know who upkeep the area, but it's not well upkept. I was there about 3 months ago, you know, and it's deplorable conditions. I think it needs to be, we are putting more emphasis in the bigger ruins than the more important ruins. We're putting emphasis in Lamanai and Altunha and so forth, because tourism boom was there. But then you have an important ruin as Quail site that need to be taken care of, especially for Orangewa. Tourism can get very big in Orangewa if we promote Quail site as one of the oldest ruins and the history of the Quail site ruins. But it needs to be upkept. It's eroding. The weather is eroding this ruin. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you too, Carlo.
Thank you for the call. And
your answer.
And the building he's talking about is just one of the structure that was worked way back, you know, from I think before I was even born.
Norman Hammond.
Yes.
Norman Hammond.
Famous stuff.
That's one of the structure. But we also have to consider that we as the Institute of Archaeology, we respect the landowners and the property owners. So in the case of Cuello, it's not an archaeological reserve, it's an archaeological site. It's the difference between archaeological site and archaeological reserve. Lamanai is an archaeological reserve. It's run and managed by the Institute of Archaeology. An archaeological site falls on the
government property. You know,
the archaeological site, the archaeological site still belongs to the Institute of Archaeology, but the land surrounding it, it's for different private owners. And that's why we work along with the Cuello brothers, and the project itself runs on where the high trees are, the bushes, where probably he's talking about, underneath the canopy, there's where the project is being focused mostly.
Can the Institute of Archaeology request certain things of the landowners? In other words,
Well,
stipulate that certain things should.
We have had meetings ongoing for a couple of years now, and we are trying to work. I think the future of Cuello is going towards landowner and the Institute of Archaeology sitting down and doing a memorandum of understanding, a written one. The conversation has started to incorporate also the distillery. I mean, for those who love to drink, the rum plays an important history in Orange Rock and in Belize. So the landowners, along with the Institute of Archaeology, has started the conversation. It's something that needs to be worked on, and hopefully soon we can, have Cuello as open for visitation as well. But the project is ongoing. I think this will be the third year Dr. James comes down here and does his research.
Is there work ongoing? Is going to be
work ongoing every year. I think he will be working in January this year, coming 2018. Yeah.
Well, we're just about that time, guys. 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, where you must run. But I'm going to give you one quick minute to recap and to put out your best message to the public.
Well, even though we said that today is for the students, if you want to stop by and see what we're talking about, you can still come. We are here to promote awareness, to promote the idea of preserving our cultural patrimony, because it doesn't belong to us as an institute, but to you all as citizens of Orange Walk and citizens of Belize. If we don't protect it, then we will have nothing left, and it's not for us, but it's for your future generations.
Yeah, and for me, since I'm the person that is always out there in the field, and I see the challenges we have as the Institute of Archaeology, I want to reiterate, for those who are doing stuff that probably they didn't know it was illegal to do. For example, if you're building a house, doing a foundation, doing a septic, and you start to see ceramics or chert, you can easily contact the Institute of Archaeology. We will come. We won't stop you from doing your development. We know development has to happen. We want to salvage information, which is the most important thing of whatever is in your property.
And any small piece of shard can easily give you a wealth of
and all cities and towns in Belize are built on archaeological sites. So wherever you're building your house, you might find something. We ask of you to contact us or contact Banquitas, and they will contact us. And for those farmers out there, if you see something that should not be happening, also contact us, and we will come and address it.
Give me a number so people can call.
Well, I can give you my personal...
Institute of Archaeology.
The Institute of Archaeology phone number is...
822-2106.
2106. El número puede llamar. En caso ves algo extraño, 822-2106. O simplemente checa el
Facebook.
directorio y ves Department of Archaeology, o simplemente vas a... Ahí están los números.
Yeah. It goes
Facebook,
to...
página. ¿Quién no tiene Facebook hoy en día?
Yeah.
Okay. 822-2227, 822-2106. Aquí te damos hasta la capacidad de hasta poner tu retrato, tu foto, si es que lograste captar esa imagen.
Yeah.
Compañeros, muchas gracias.
Thank you, and thank you to the viewers.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Josue, thank you very much. And here's an open invitation to people to, if you want to learn more about archaeology, and if you want, and that is not just a big fancy sophisticated word. Archaeology is the study of the past. All right? And we have a wealth. We have a huge wealth of resources when it comes to historical resources. In terms of, we have been settled by the Maya for thousands of years here, and they have left behind these mounds and these temples, and that is part of our wealth. But, ladies and gentlemen, we say thanks again to the companions from the Institute of Archaeology, and we want to welcome you we want to invite you to the seminars. Students, but it's not only students. If you're interested, please go. Makita's House of Culture. Again, thank you very much. We'll be right back after this break with more, but don't leave. We'll stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let's get ready
Thank you, guys.
Get serious. Get popped.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una.
Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el
¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que huimos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Rochefrans, poniendo el mundo a funcionar. Agente autorizado, German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Rochefrans.
The Philip Walton Highway between Belize City and the Philip Walton International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section A of the highway upgrading project between Hallover Bridge and PGIA is nearing completion at an investment of $13.6 million. Works include construction of retaining walls to prevent erosion, widening of the road cross-section to include paved road shoulders, pavement restoration and resurfacing. The project also includes installation of LED road lighting and safety features such as signs, reflectors, road marking, and improved visibility through the clearing of the road reserve. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward. The first two phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopon Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable difference for commuters and residents alike. These first two phases are a $16.5 million investment by the government of Belize. Under this project, the highway is being rehabilitated through improvement of the road pavement to create a safer environment for the public. Improvements, especially in the areas that pose a high risk to motorists, include the introduction of paved road shoulders, high visibility line markings, reflective road studs, bus laybys, and other features that will bring the entire road segment in line with internationally recognized standards. Additionally, the replacement of the existing single-lane bridges will reduce road user risks. These improvements will increase economic, tourism, and agricultural opportunities, further encouraging the social development of Belize, particularly in the south. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Digicel prepaid customers. Just when you may think it couldn't get any better, Digicel gone and extended their awesome promos. Continue to enjoy the USA bundle offer. 50 minutes and 50 texts to USA for 24 hours for just $2.99. You save over $42. Just dial star 100 pound or star 100 and follow the instructions to purchase. But in a done day, you can keep enjoying 100 ways to keep in touch with all of the Digicel and BTL family and friends. 100 minutes to any Digicel or BTL number and 100 texts to any Digicel number for just $2.99 each day. That's a whopping $46 savings every day. Just that star 100 pound or star 100 and follow the instructions to purchase. It's that simple. simple. These are a limited time offers. So no lamp up and wait till it all gone. Remember, only Digicel gives you the best value for your money. Nobody can top that, no matter how they try. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
And welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta, compañeros. Now I am joined by not a guest, but my regular co-host, Mr. Robert Chekios. Good morning, Rob.
Thanks to you, my brother.
Welcome to the show. ¿Cómo estás?
Bye, I'm good. Thank to the good Lord once again that I'm good, and Josh is shaping up.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
he's shaping
This
up.
is typically the time when all the asthmatics and all the people who suffer allergies and all the rest of people always have some sort of who have respiratory problems. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Some mornings it just don't function.
Yeah, he's shaping up though.
You know, some mornings it can be very difficult. Very difficult. You can't breathe.
But
and so forth.
even we when I got the asthmas there and so and the kind of allergies and so sometimes when the weather get like that, some people catch cold and all that, right? And I don't have none of the kind of you know. But Belize is blessed, and there is something good to report in Belize, because when a big president from a big country is coming to your country, if it come for 1 hour for one day, it's a very good thing for a country. It's because that they have love for the country. They have confidence in the country, and they know that security is okay. So,
Enrique Peña Nieto viene al país de Belice, compañeros. El presidente de México viene a Belice y este mes, entre una semana, estará aquí, y no en realidad por un día, por unas cuantas horas, y va a estar atendiendo una sesión de lo que es en la Junta CARICOM México Summit. Es pero se llevará a cabo aquí en la ciudad, en Belice, en la ciudad de Belice en particular, y él fue invitado por el primer ministro a ser parte de lo que es la mesa principal, de ser el co-chair, es más, de esta sesión plenaria. Así que tendremos el gusto de tener a Enrique Peña Nieto aquí, y se supone de que va a haber una conferencia, no una conferencia, pero una conferencia de prensa donde se le van a hacer muchas preguntas, y esto es para la prensa esencialmente, porque es importante cuando un presidente de otro país, uno tan grande y tan buen amigo como es México. Hola México, ¿cómo están? Mexicanos, ¿cómo están?
This nuevo gobernador Chetomolo.
Este es el presidente.
Big man.
Este es el presidente, el mero.
I received a notification for some press pass and press briefing pass, so I'll follow up on it today and put down what name you're going, if the press pass then go through.
Of course.
All right, we try check it. You have to put down your works, right? You know, because you know this is an official thing. Everybody, and then I don't have to tell you that, because I know one time you go out well bleed up. But it's something good that the president of Mexico is coming to Belize. This is the second time we have a president from Mexico coming to Belize.
What is being underscored here is, I think, the friendly relationships that we have.
That's it.
With the country of Mexico. Every Mexican president normally comes, even if it's for a day, even whatever. I can recall, I think it was one of them that stayed overnight.
Yeah.
And so, but it's, as always, ladies and gentlemen, the logistical problems attached with bringing a foreign president here are enormous. Can you begin to think of all the logistical work when it comes to security? when it comes to everything.
You know, so.
That not just him when come with the lead bag, you know. No, he has an entourage. He has his secretary and his press secretary and everybody else has his own secretary, and they have their own secretaries, and so forth and so forth.
He got his own press people and all that.
But the point is, one man can usually tote around 50, 60, up to 100, sometimes up to 200 people. So, do you have hotel rooms for all of these people? Do you have them all on the same floor, or do you have or is there enough security at the hotel for it? Do you all of these
standards
things are put in place, ladies and gentlemen? No es simplemente llegar y decir ya estoy aquí. No.
How much people a man represent, pa?
About almost 130 million people.
Damn.
Mexico's population is huge.
Jimmy Mekomo, he just passed through.
Yes.
When Yaya jumped front of the vehicle.
When who?
Yaya.
Oh.
The Bolido Queen.
She me no?
I don't know. But I just hope that nothing no go wrong when this man go here. You know?
I'm sure that nothing is going to.
People like big up issues.
It's not the Guatemalan president coming. It's the Mexican president coming. I don't think that there is any situation where we have a grudge or we have any problems going with Mexico right now, or do we?
We don't have, but you know how some people go. The who is invited, the PM, right?
Yes. He says he has been indicted by Prime Minister Dinbar to co-chair the 4th CARICOM-Mexico Summit to be held in Belize City. We yet have to know exactly where they're doing it, if it's at, a private hotel or if it's at the some government office. I do believe that it's at a hotel, maybe the Radisson, but maybe those things have not been yet worked out.
But
know what I mean?
But it's good that he's coming to Belize. That is good. Then Emmanuel, this thing with what happened last week with this gentleman Albert Catus that was gunned down in Belize City.
Yes. What do you think happened there?
Boy, I don't really know what happened because according to Mr. Blackett or Brackett or where you need from the Cola, the president of Cola.
Giovanni.
Yeah, he made say something about some phone calls on the man may get, and they want to see what this thing tie into. The man even went, it looked like the man got a musical too. Because the Minister of State in Home Affairs, Minister of State to the Police, Honorable Elodio Aragon, called the media last week, Friday. I listened to his interview last week, Friday, when I was traveling to San Ignacio. And, basically like what anybody has said when they call and, we want to make people know that we're on board and this is no political thing. But according to Giovanni, that the man called the media and he never called he. He never called he.
And who is he?
Cola. He never called no other social partners. He called the media, but I believe the media that way you get your information out, no?
Mm-hmm.
He said the man sung like one noisy cymbal. When you whop up a cymbal, it sound noisy. He said Aragon sung like one noisy cymbal. So, before you could think about try to see how you could solve out things, or people continue research and investigate what happened, they put one next twist to this thing already. You understand? It's not like you give people a chance, okay, we are trying to get this thing going, but you don't listen to the man sound like one noisy cymbal. So that means what he hear, or I don't know if he hear or somebody tell him, he not agree to that, and he not satisfied what he hear.
I'm tempted not to even comment there because really Giovanni Brackett is not one of my favorite persons, and I hold very little respect for his opinion and for the way he thinks. I think that he's a political stooge. I think that enough said. But what he says is inconsequential to me.
Yeah. But then it make you wonder that what kind of organization they want to lead.
Mm-hmm.
What are their credibility? How do they behave? Yeah. You understand?
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Good morning. I have a question for you guys as media. I want you to do a research and see the percentile of crimes solved by the police forces. that would be a good job for you journalists to give me a percentile of crimes solved by the police forces. Not even a simple robbery, a simple theft are solved by the police forces.
How far do you want us to go back, sir?
Just about 2 or 3 years back.
Why only 2 or 3 years?
Because that the crime has risen dramatically for the past 5 years, drastically. You know, so I think that's a good job for you journalists. It's a good homework to find out to see what is the percentile of crimes solved by the police forces in the country.
But sir, can I interject? May I interject? You know, the comment the police continue their investigations has become almost trite and has become so misused and abused that I think that it becomes a scratch record, and I think it's been happening from time immemorial. I join with you in saying that the crime situation has increased. I also join with you in telling you that the situation is perhaps maybe more reports these days, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that the police...
Mr. Martinez, let me tell you something. You are taking this thing politically. I'm taking it as a religion.
I am?
You are talking about time memorial. I'm thinking about 5 years. Let us take it 5 years back. You know, I don't want to take it to when you were a child. Let's have it 5 years ago. You know, 5 years ago, the police forces right now say everything is under investigation. Nothing has been solved. Nothing. Take for instance this guy, this young chap that they found, the body of this young chap that they found. The police was not even involved in the search. It was civilians led by Jose Espat. And the body was found because the efforts of civilians. The police forces were not even involved. They were involved for every 5-10 seconds. I mean, I'm speaking maybe too grand. Maybe about 2 days they went out there just to put a face. But the police forces are not doing their job. You know, the police, people that join the police force join because they have no jobs. They come out of high school, sixth form, and the only way to make a living and to pay their loans on the bank is to join the police force. They don't have that emphasis.
Oh my God!
Pride to be in the police force. It is like this. We have to face the facts. It is like this, sir. You can make whatever face you want to do, but it is in reality. I have friends in the police force that they join the police force because they don't have no jobs, and the only way out to pay their loans is to join the police force and get a salary.
Thank you.
They're not wholeheartedly there as a police force. I think I would say almost the 90% of them are there for that. The older cops, because they have no other way to go, they stay here in the police force. Come on, let's face the fact. You know, we have a police force that cares for no one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But then, Emmanuel, before you go there, cool off your temper.
No,
what happened is
I'm not even tempered.
What happened is we mentioned yesterday and some weeks ago, like what happened at Corozal, all the thing they saw. We don't know if they have enough people in the department one time. Or I think I asked the question yesterday or day before, how much people got to work now at CIB department out districts. We don't know. So when one case happened and this police they work on this and something else happened, he left that and go to the next one and something else happened and left that.
I am sure that the caller agrees when we say that it is a topic of discussion here at Channel 10 for some time now. Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Yes, morning Martinez, morning Jackie.
How is that?
Listen to me. That gentleman may call just now. You hear me?
Yeah, just lower television, just lower TV.
Speak to us, lower the television set.
Just hold on.
Yeah, Emmanuel, but we mentioned that already, right? When it comes to the crimes that are not solved.
Mentioning it quite a, but I don't think that it is simply a matter of 2 to 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
You hear the gentleman we call just now? I call one gentleman. You hear the man we call just now? I will tell you something well personally know. I think it was in the 19 something, not sure if the 1997 or something, when the Right Honorable Manuel Esquivel was the Prime Minister of this country. You remember he formed one SIS force, Secret Intelligence Service.
That was called Thompson, right?
Yeah, the crime had gone down during that time. That everybody, when I say everybody, the PUP there mainly, they were very scared of it. It's proven. The rate and the prison gone down. The rate and the crime gone down. The drug trafficking gone down. And I think it was when Musa promised that when he won, because so much people were scared of the SIS, that they were bound the SIS when he win. And as he gone in, that the same thing he do, he broke up the SIS and he caused the country from there, the crime start to go up, the killing start to go up. In 1985, when they hung the last man and war, from the war, it is inhumane to hang a man. I mean, it take one person's life, and if it take one person's life, we should pay back with this. You understand what I mean? And all of this, and this that we call the crime without the handling, because people don't give a damn what they do. The first thing I said, well, I'm going to jail and sit down, and my parents there for this, or they support this, right back a post. The person will do the out, and when the out, what happens to her? You find somebody already kill few loving brother, few loving sister, what you want to do? You see how they walk out, you could do in the same, and you go and sit down 1, 2, 3 days back at jail, and you come out, and that thing will happen. I think the country really needs this SIS back again, because the police alone we can't do it. You see, the police got one time when they go in, then come out, then go in, then come out. People are afraid of telling the police any information, because you got one lot of them, I will give the police the information, and see this man John killed Peter, and 2-3 days, one of Peter family or one of Peter brother come and kill it, you the main witness, and what happened to that man come out free, walk on the street, and that will cause the whole problem. So I believe so that this SIS will come into effect again. One lot of things what happen now will happen, check it. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You remember that SIS talk about them?
I do recall
I think it was
that.
Honorable Carl Thompson, no?
Yes, I do recall
Mr.
that.
Mr. Tan.
And I do recall, yes.
Who Mr. Tan,
yes. And I do recall that that the crime situation was reduced at that time.
Things were strict.
Now, going back to what I was saying, it should be of no surprise to the caller a while ago and to a number of people that we have been questioning pretty much the same thing, only that we are not going to be limiting it only to a certain time, as the caller would like for us to do.
He suggested.
So yes, he suggested, but that we're going to take it back some more years. Because I think that at the end of the day, it is not a matter of politics, it is a matter of some other matter that needs to be addressed, some internal thing, some, I don't know what the caller was alluding to. Maybe he was alluding to some sort of mismanagement by the current UDP government, or perhaps he was alluding to perhaps not doling out sufficient resources to the police department, or perhaps because he's saying that things are bad that people have to turn to crime activities. Is that what you're telling me? Well, tell you what. The criminal situation has been like this for many, many, many years, and your comment about only being for the last 2 years, I think is false, is absolutely false, and therefore the bigger truth, however, is that we need to find out really what is the amount of percentage that the police have actually managed to win with all the cases that go to court. I think that at the end of the day, We would like to get a police officer, somebody, a high-ranking police officer, to come in, and maybe we can ask them these questions, because I don't think that we would be privileged to be able to do that kind of research. You know what I mean? We will be able to give you one here, one there, one there, one there. But when it comes to the actual report, I don't think that the police department will let us walk through the door with that information in our hands. That is my personal belief.
Yeah.
It would be so detrimental. Not. I think that, and for ethical reasons as well, they wouldn't want us to do that.
Yeah, but it's not that we are closing our eyes to see what is happening today when it comes to the crime and the unsolved mysteries, unsolved cases, because that happens on a daily basis.
Well, just the other day we were talking about that situation, and we were saying, how many times do we not hear, and the police continue in their investigation, and that is
story
the
done.
last time we hear about that.
Story done.
Story done, right there. I would have loved to use a big juicy fat word there, but the story ends right there.
Juicy.
Juicy fat word, you know, but it ends right there. And I think that I join with the caller in saying that we're tired of it, because at the end of the day, the police continue their investigation, and then bam, bam, bam.
Next one happened.
Next one happened. And there's no continuity on that old one. Well, at least we think there is no continuity. Perhaps there is, you know. But we alluded to the fact that perhaps there was a shortage of staff, or perhaps there was a lack of interest. Maybe.
Or
The
something.
caller alluded a while ago that 90% approximately, I don't know how he got his figures, but 90% of the police officers, if I got him right, were only there for the salary, and were not there for wanting to prevent crime. I don't think that is true, sir. I think that undermines the whole mentality and mindset of the police department. You owe the police department an apology there, because just yesterday we had the senior superintendent of police.
Yeah. So Lyndon
This
Flowers.
week,
Yeah.
who impressed us with his love for the police department. And after 36 years of being there, he is, I think, the epitome of the love for the police department, and of discipline, and of many other good things.
And when
I cannot tell you. You do have an element, perhaps it was overly exaggerated by you by saying 90%, but definitely not 90%, sir. We like to think that it's much, but much, much lower than that.
And when he heard about wrongdoings of police, that upsets him,
Exactly
Emmanuel,
so.
for all the good work he has been doing, and other members of the police department who are doing good work, so they have some of them when come as file, because he working in one of the department where he deal with the situation, right?
He's the adjudicator. He's one of the internal adjudication unit. So in other words, all of these things that are bad things that are done by police, he has to sit there and listen to him. He is
For the entire country?
For the entire country, yes.
Yeah. A texter say, I agree with the caller, because many people just get a job not because they love it, but because there's nothing else to do.
And that's the one who shares that opinion like you, sir.
Yeah, he said, I'm a younger guide, and I see how things go wrong with guests, because guides work for money, not for the love of the job. So he's referring also to as a tour guide. Someone just do it for getting money, because someone a tour guide and behave.
And even if it were 90%, which begs the question, are we up for sale as a country? You know, are we to blame the politicians for that?
Yeah.
Or are we to blame ourselves for it? Let's take a deep, long look into ourselves and say, am I for sale? If somebody comes and gives me $20,000 or $20 million,
Keep your mouth shut.
You know, to keep your mouth shut, or to vote for the other party, would you?
Don't tell the money make the monkey dance.
Would you?
But you don't know monkey, right?
And when the moment you begin to consider that, then you're backing up the wrong tree.
Yeah, but that's true. They got some, because I remember a time when a lady tell his son, you know, hear that announcement they were there on the radio, try go pick up application or join police, you know, got nothing to do. Yeah, it happened, man. You know, when they join some of them.
But you see, you can aspire to join the police department, and hopefully the police department is going to change the way you look at things. For God's
That's
sake.
why we go to training school.
That's why you go to training school.
Yeah.
That's why the people, the people who you work with are supposed to influence you enough. But many times, maybe it doesn't happen. But
it's a profession. It's a profession.
I always say it. El político no nace corrupto. No, señor. Y yo sé que muchas veces a gente me gustaría mentarme toda la madre por esto, pero el político no nace corrupto. Nosotros, por nuestras insistencias y nuestras demandas, lo forzamos a ser corrupto hasta cierto punto. Porque queremos y queremos y queremos y queremos, y porque mi abuelita se está muriendo, y porque mi mamá quiere una operación, o porque mi hijo lo quiero que lo saquen de la cárcel, o por esto y el otro. Y si el señor ministro solo consigue $5,000 al mes, es cierto, ¿cómo puede él atender todas las demandas de todas las personas que quieren y quieren y quieren? Si esta fiesta quieres tener cuando tu hijo se gradúa y no quieres que te cueste, ponte a pensar. Are we up for sale? That is the big question. Are we up for sale?
Yeah, so people like whole lally money and do anything, man. You know, we know of some case, but really can't mention anything there because that's a deep case where some people deal with. So, but they just left that alone. And sorry, I understand that some persons from the police department has expressed interest to come on the show, and we'll find out what their agenda is. And if their agenda is not quite lit to this, we are telling bring somebody who don't know where to answer some of the question there as well. So the public will have the opportunity to call in and ask them what they need to ask them.
Maybe it's Ms. Vidal, whatever, that we need to bring, the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Yeah.
We need to bring. Maybe it's not. Maybe not the.
The files goes to her, right? To her office.
Should.
And then she go through it and see if it merits for it to go to court or on what level, no? He said, something about you never finish on the tour guide before he interrupt. But I don't really see nothing else here, so.
What? I'm sorry?
He said, check you never finish on the tour guide before he interrupt you, but I don't really know exactly.
I don't even remember what about the tour guide.
Something about the tour.
Do you recall talking about the tour guide?
No, what I said, they have some tour guides. We go join because there is not employment, so they will become a tour guide. But they got some.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. But it goes back to the same thing like with the police department. So people go join.
But there's nothing wrong with getting a job. But then hopefully the police is going to mold you and train you to think differently.
Yeah, because I know some tour guide. It's tough to talk about them people about what they do, but they do it, man. I know some tour guide where meet some people that say, hey, what, this tourist want to go to a certain place or you want this, go get it for them and, you know, bring it for them. You know, and then it happened, but then like you say, you go in a training, you're supposed to come out with a principle.
Exactly.
That's not just one job, that's a profession.
Exactly.
Are you supposed to follow the guidelines? And if your superior meet you to do that thing, they need
also, there is also a board, I imagine, that actually goes through all these applications and sees if the person qualifies to be a policeman.
Yeah, you have to get.
I would like to think that not just anybody can become a policeman.
No, you have to.
Can it be?
No, you need to get a police record. That your police record is clean. You need to be 18 and over. You need to have a certain height.
You need to have a certain height?
You need to be a band
so high.
Maybe when they go to interview, they put on big high boots.
No.
Because they have to measure that, right?
If that a power working there or what? Because
well, maybe for their height meets the requirement.
5 foot?
I don't know.
Okay.
You see someone at 5 foot?
I think it's 5'4", 5'2". I don't know.
So
I don't know.
But then, like, you know, they got some people join the force and so, and they just come right up, you know, because they have the passion. They got to join it because they want to become a law officer. Not only the police, but like the BDF, the Coast Guard. You know, they go in there because they want to bring up.
Why not be archaeologists like these two young men who were here previously? You know what I mean? You make more money, and you're gainfully employed.
You get very knowledgeable.
You get your knowledge about your country.
Yeah, but you could become an artist.
Or you can become an artist. Look how check your rich no head.
Why stop your food?
Huh?
Or you could go work at the bank. But then you say the employments there, a lot of employment is not available out there, pa, because you know they have a lot of people who run them business on a day-to-day basis, you know. What they make today, that what they can survive with for the next day. They got some people who got some small business, when not getting no, you know, end up like a business, you know, just like if they got a job where they pay them $125 or $150 a week. By the time the end of the week come when they make. Cause things slow with a lot of business. So it tight.
So what's the point?
What do you mean what's the point?
I didn't follow.
They don't have everybody. They not everybody out there will have one business could employ people.
Oh, okay.
Because they not really they make not even for themselves. They know they make. Sometimes they have to lay off some people. And I say pues tienes que agarrar unas 2 semanas. Estas personas van a trabajar esas 2 semanas. La próxima semana tú no go off and the next one they come in.
And if you don't have a problem with that, stay. If you have a problem with that, find someplace else.
Yeah, and you can't force them to employ you. You know, this country they grow a lot, you know, Emmanuel. But then we see how much employment there when it comes to construction. You know how much people are working in the construction business of this country. If you when you pass through the city, you see so much big buildings that go up.
And you don't have to go to the building. You're right at a child farm in this area. You find some large 2-story buildings being built.
And then they think they create employments, right?
Of course.
They create employments.
Of course they do.
Yeah, but you see the thing is that like that, so sometimes people don't see it that way, Emmanuel. They don't see that okay, there are things develop, the country they develop, but why our country develop? Our country develop because their finances are stable. You have good governance, you have good friendly people, you have ways of making money. You think that people are doing studies before they can invest one big amount of money? Guides go through training, yes, but there are more trainings that not all take because they say they don't need it.
Who decides that they don't need it or not? That's the question.
Yeah, and maybe because when you don't get your training, you need to go for your license. And for your license, you need to get your physical training, you need to do your swimming, you need to get your medical report and all that before you could get a license. You know, so like you said, who decides how far they should go before they can obtain a license to be a tour guide? Somebody just can't go to somebody who do tour guide like the BAT or the Aldo or any other tour guide tour company and say that they want a job. Even someone who want to drive the vans that Belize City, they need to get a tour guide license, you know. Because they need to know how to handle a tour guide. There are something like a backup. If something happened to the tour guide or something goes wrong on the trip, then they have to be able to come in and take up that load as well. You know, so not just, but I don't know why some of them don't finish, or maybe they just need to learn more and how far they have to go before they could get their tour guide license. So this thing they raise up a lot now. You know? They want to know what you need to do to become a tour guide. Well, I believe you could visit the BTB or visit I think we have the Northern Tour Guide Association here in Orange Walk. I'm not sure who's the president right now. Mr. Randy Jones was the president at one time, but I'm not sure who's the president. And then you could get more information from there. Or when you see way out there, could talk to way and we could tell you, well, you know, what is required.
Let me give you Star's number. I think he would be one of the...
He's part of the association as well?
Yes.
somebody want to know what you need to do to become a tour guide and to lead you up to get your license, because I want work, you know. So that is what it's coming to, folks. But you know, it's 9 o'clock now, and we need to leave this morning. Meantime, Emmanuel, find that number. It has been a pleasure being here today. We thank Maurice and Raheem and to our guests that was here this morning. And
you can call Jorge at 626-3593. Jorge Estrella. I don't know if he is the president, but I know he features.
He's part of the association?
With the association. 626-3593.
Okay.
626-3593.
Yeah. Oh, they say, and somebody said Mr. Starr is the current president.
Okay.
That's the same number you just shared, right?
I got it there. 626-3593.
All right, so if you want to learn more, ask question about tour guiding or how you call learn and what all you have to go through before you obtain a license, then you can call Mr. Starr. All right, so on that note, Emmanuel, we must say bye-bye for today. You know, I'll be back at 11 o'clock this morning to bring you the music show. I'm supposed to give us some things, but maybe I'll try to see if I could get it work out between now and 11. But if not today, for definitely sure for tomorrow. So I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Maurice and Raheem. Thanks to our guest that was here this morning. We'd like to thank you all who tune in. And this show, you can see it anytime. It's right now on YouTube. You can see it all day, anywhere in the world. And it repeats at 9 o'clock tonight. So keep it.
And tomorrow, guys, we should be having personnel. And if you notice, our week is jam full, like they say. We're going to have gentlemen from the Pesticides Control Board. Now, you're on that. What? Pesticides Control Board. Anything. Todo lo que se trata de insecticida, pesticida, herbicida, todo se va a discutir. Yo te invito que si tienes preguntas acerca de esto, que lo anotes, porque vamos a tener al personal de Pesticide Control Board aquí con nosotros mañana. Todos esos agricultores, todos esos cañeros, anótenlo, del Pesticide Control Board mañana aquí con nosotros. Y vamos a estar tomando llamadas para estas personas. Si es que tú necesitas aclarar alguna duda o hacer una pregunta, lo que sea, o si quieres saber algo simplemente, o compartir de una forma u otra, mañana es el día, tendremos el personal de Pesticides Control Board aquí con nosotros.
All right, so on that note, we will say, Emmanuel, hasta mañana.
Until we see each other again. Hasta luego, compañeros. Se cuiden todos.